All right, what's up, peeps? It's your boy K Seal. Coming here with our weekly locks. I want to do this. I want to do this at the end of every week to get you ready for the weekend. And then on Mondays or Tuesdays, I want to do a recap just to see how everybody's doing. I got my man Jerome, who is in the middle of working right now. Speak to the camera, Jerome.
Hey, what's going on, people? How y'all doing?
Where you at? Tell them where you at.
I'm in Washington State, a little town, working in Sumner.
Okay, that's what's up. And I got my man Buck. Y'all seen him before. Speak, Buck.
What up? What up? What up?
Yeah, don't nobody care about Raider Nation. Hey,
Shit. You should have seen them Chiefs fans running out them casinos quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah. So real quick before we get into these locks, I want y'all's opinion real quick. On how do y'all feel about the Lakers winning the championship?
I guess I just go ahead and start. The whole world knew it was no way in hell Miami was going to beat them, even with a healthy team. And then after game one, when Dragic and Adebayo went down, it was pretty much a wrap. I'm surprised it went to 6 games, to be honest with
you. I'm loving that they won. I mean, I'm loving that they won because of LeBron. The guy, he's held to a different standard than anybody ever. And the way Jimmy Butler played was, it was lights out. He had a couple lights out games. But for LeBron, that would have been just another average day. And how tired he was. You won't ever see LeBron slumped over when he hand you like a 35, 15, and 10. You won't see him slumped over. That's what people expect of him. But when Jimmy Butler do it, we excuse him for being tired. So it's just a different standard. I'm glad LA won. But win, lose, or draw, LeBron was going to take a criticism. So he's always in a lose-lose situation, even when he wins.
Yeah, I think LeBron fought for the playoffs to be in the bubble because he knew this was his window. And he capitalized on it. I'm not mad at him. I think LeBron is the second best player of all time from what I've seen. So, in the interest of full disclosure, I picked Miami in 7, which looked like it was a dumb pick now that I look at it. But LeBron's just that dude. And AD came into his own. And this is their window. I don't think they win it all next year. I think they'll be really good, but this was their opportunity. Next year, you're going to have a healthy Golden State Warriors. You're going to have a Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie and KD. You're going to have, the Clippers will make another run at it with Tyronn Lue and all those guys. I thought this was their window. LA would have to do a massive retool of their roster to get it done next year, but I think they capitalized on it. And congratulations to the city of LA. You guys deserve it. Sticking with LA, what y'all think about Tyronn Lue being hired to replace Doc Rivers?
You want to go ahead, bro?
I personally think I don't think he's better than Doc Rivers. I think he has that. He led Cleveland to the finals twice. That's on 4 times, right? No, 3 times. How many times did he lead Cleveland to the finals?
At least 3. Every time they lost to Golden State.
So he has that on his resume. Really? He was going to get there with no coach. Pretty much, it's pretty much what they did. And the Clippers Nation's going to find that out real soon.
What do you think, Buck?
I don't know. Like you said, I think Doc Rivers is a great coach, but at the same time, I think he's slightly overrated. He's won one title, even when he had the big 3 in Boston. Other than that, he's really come up short. So I guess it's kind of like an even off trade. I would take Doc Rivers over Tyronn Lue, but not by that much. So we'll see what they do. As far as basketball, I'm really curious, though. I know you said you touched on Kyrie and KD coming back, and then the Clippers, coming back. But I want to see where Giannis goes in the offseason, if he moves. Because there's an article, I forget which website it was. I just saw it not too long ago. But it's talk about Warriors possibly landing Giannis. And if that happens, we might be getting used to the Warriors cutting down the nets again.
Yeah, I think that's the logical destination for him.
Yeah.
People bring up, him going to Miami because they will have cap space, but that's Jimmy's team. They're both
Mm-hmm.
Falcons, and so I don't think that worked. Plus, you can't in today's NBA, you can't have Bam, Giannis, and Jimmy on the court. Neither one of them. So I think the logical destination is the Golden State Warriors because they have the second pick in the draft. They got young players that showed some promise last year. I'm thinking, I'm a Michigan fan, of course, but I'm thinking Jordan Poole, who's from Milwaukee, they'll trade him. They got that pick. Andrew Wiggins will be thrown in there to make the salary right. And then probably another pick or two somewhere because the Warriors have stockpiled a whole bunch of picks. And I think that works if the Warriors go into it like they did with KD, where they say, okay, Giannis, we need you. This is your team. That kind of thing. You know how the Hampton Five did for KD when they went out there and gave him the team? I think the Warriors have enough humility where they can do something like that and pull that off. And I think that's where Giannis will agree to a trade and sign a long-term deal. And I think the salaries match because Golden State doesn't mind going over the salary cap. They need people to pay for that new stadium they just built. So that's what what you think?
You look at it.
Come back to you, Buck. What you think, Ron?
I think Giannis could fit in Miami, but I also think Miami's coming out of the East next year. I think that they keep that nucleus together. I think they're only going to get better. They played team ball. That's what got them there. Team ball. It was Jimmy leading them, but the role players played their role, and they wasn't even healthy. So I think next year they're gonna come out of the East again. Back to Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant in New Jersey, or New York, or Brooklyn. Kyrie, I think, is way, we talk overrated. I think he's overrated. What has he done in the league other than hit that big shot? What has he won? Think about this. When he left Cleveland and went to Boston, both teams made it to the Eastern Conference Finals without him. So what did he bring to the table? He hit one big shot. And now he's talking about, I don't trust nobody. Dude, you had 3 years to carry Cleveland when LeBron was in Miami. And what did you do? He didn't even sniff the playoffs. But yet he's talking like he's a bona fide all-star. Yeah, you're an all-star, but ain't nothing bona fide or solidified about you. Then you talking about, finally I got somebody I can trust to take the shot. Dude, who gave him a voice like that? Seriously. And people listen to him. What has he done? What has he won?
I agree. And I agree wholeheartedly. And I say the same thing about Chris Paul. The same exact thing. What has Chris Paul won? His in college, NBA, nothing.
Listen,
nothing.
He hasn't won anything, but what Chris Paul did in OKC is extraordinary.
What has Chris Paul was on a loaded Clippers team. They had way more than enough talent to win the chip.
Hold on, you 5 minutes ago you said the coach was overrated.
I said slightly. Right. I said he's still a great coach.
You said he was overrated though. Doc Rivers is the only coach that lost 3 times in his career.
He's good enough to win you one, but that don't mean, you know what I mean, you can't take criticism.
I hear you.
Just like Klay Thompson. Good player. He's still overrated.
Okay, we need to we need to switch subject right now, man. All right.
We call overrated Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking the subject on that. I don't think. I mean, he's his own.
Overrated.
I think he's not even a big starting team, so I don't know how he's overrated.
Klay he don't make any all NBA teams at all. He's an all-star that deserves the max. He's one of the greatest shooters we've ever seen. I mean, you can't overrate a dude that can give you 30 and a quarter. You can't. You're not overrated. If you're capable of that, you're not overrated. You're not
60 points on 11 dribbles. That's crazy.
Come on.
And then the next game get you 8 points.
No.
We've had this discussion.
Okay.
Shooters do that though. I'm not gonna lie, shooters do that.
Klay don't do that.
He's overrated.
That game Ray Allen set the playoff record when he did for the most 3-pointers made. The next game he ain't hit none.
Yeah,
like 0 for 9.
That was an old Ray Allen, though.
He was in Boston.
He was old. He had went to Seattle and Milwaukee.
He still had a little Shuttlesworth left in him.
Okay. All right. So let's go to one more subject before we move on. Should the Atlanta Falcons blow up their team?
As far as they are, I mean, they already fired their coach. They can move on from Matt Ryan, but you don't get rid of Julio. No way.
So you get rid of Matt Ryan and keep Julio?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Matt Ryan had his window when they lost to the 49ers in the NFC Championship a few years back, and then they had their window when they was in, they blew the 25-point lead in the Super Bowl not too long after that against the Patriots. That was their shot. Now you got to blow it up. It's gone. That's shipped and sailed.
What you think, Ron?
Yeah, I think I'm going to lean more toward him. You still don't get rid of Julio. Julio still got about 3 solid years left where he could be one of the top, 5 receivers in the league. I think the reason why he's not 1 or 2 is because of Matt Ryan. There's no way Julio not 1 or 2 in the league. I mean, who are? I mean, yeah, we see other running back, receivers shining, but nobody. Only person that has his intangibles, I think, is the young guy in Seattle right now, Metcalf.
Yeah, that dude.
And I've watched Russell Wilson come into his own. I know I'm getting off subject, but I'm gonna get back. I watched Russell Wilson come into his own because before he was just a game manager. I think right now he's the best quarterback in the league right now. That's my opinion.
He is, but he's been more than a game manager. People only looked at him as a game manager because all the focus was on the Legion of Boom. Now that the Legion of Boom ain't there, everybody's seeing Russell Wilson for what he really is.
Exactly, but the reason why I say he was game manager is because that's all he was allowed to do. Against the Patriots, he wasn't allowed to change that play. They kept him under strict lines. So that's why I say he was a game manager. But I watch him evolve along with the trust from his coach Pete Carroll to allow him to be that quarterback. I mean, I've watched Seattle, and I couldn't stand Seattle because I live up here, and these bandwagon fans. But I've come to love Seattle, and I love Russ. I love the way he plays the game. But
he's the MVP right now.
You keep Julio and let Matt Ryan go.
Yeah.
Well, you did bring us back because I thought we were okay. Keep Julio, let Matt Ryan go. I think you probably get more. Well, you wouldn't get more for Julio. You get more for quarterbacks. We all know that. But I think I don't know. I don't like the idea of wasting Julio with a new quarterback, trying to figure things out. So I think if you get rid of one, you kind of get rid of both of them. Let that new quarterback figure it out with that Ridley kid that they got, who's pretty good as well.
He's a beast.
Yeah, see what you can get for Julio and Matt Ryan and call it a day. That's what I think. But
you can't let Julio go, man. You can't. That like my man said, he's as far as tangible wise, when you not just current day, but of all time, Julio Jones to me. When you talk about his height, his athletic ability, he's up there all the time.
All right. Yeah. So let's dig into these locks. So like I said, just a recap. I was in Vegas for 7 years. I ain't never win nothing. Whenever I had these big long parlay tickets, I used to feel I used to always miss by 1 or 2.
Yep.
I put together this, so if everybody can give us 2 that you are sure about and you're solid about, then you can put together 1 ticket and win, right? So if we all do 2, a payout of a 16 parlay would be what, Buck, if you put $100 on?
16, you're probably looking at. If you're doing, it depends though. Well, you said parlay, so you're doing spreads, but you can also parlay money lines, so it comes at you. But just
spread, yeah.
Yeah, if you're doing spreads and you pick a 6-teamer, I think it pays out probably close to 50 to 1, a little bit more than that. So
yeah,
you put $100 down, you're probably looking at about $5,000.
There you go. So that's why we're doing this. So I'll kick this off. My number one locks for this week. And
Is this money line or spread?
Well, my first one is Lomachenko and Lopez, the boxing match. I think Loma wipes this dude out. I think he's too young. I love Teofimo Lopez. He's a strong kid. He's fast. He's athletic. But I just think Vasily Lomachenko is just too much too soon. He's one of the best boxers I've ever seen. And so I think having this kid, Lopez, only fight 15 fights and then fight possibly the best boxer in the world is just too much to ask for a 20-some-year-old kid. So that's my first lock of the week. I don't know if you watch boxing at all, wrong, but that's the big boxing match on ESPN.
Right.
That's come on at 10 o'clock Eastern. What you think about that, Buck?
I was just in here before I got on the call watching Teofimo Lopez because, to be honest, I don't know too much about him. So I was like, man, let me look this kid up. He looks fast. He looks like he hits hard. He's knocking people out, but the level of competition ain't up to par. But, then on the other hand, you got Lomo, who I think is the great white hope and is overrated. But he is nice. But I don't know if I'm going to put him pound for pound number one. I think that, I don't know. Dude, hell, he's only got about 14, 15 fights. So
yeah,
we'll see.
He got 14. He fought over 400 amateur fights.
Yeah.
Second fight was a championship fight. Fight number 2, he jumped right into it. But real quick, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Roman, you got an opinion on that? I don't know if you watch boxing or not.
Nah. Well, no, I'm not up in the current day. I haven't followed boxing since Floyd retired.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, hey, a lot of people stopped watching after Floyd retired. That's why people aren't making the same money Floyd made. So
Not me.
So yeah, of course not you, man. Gervonta Davis fan. And my second lock of the week is the Texans and the Titans. I think the Titans wiped them out. Maybe not wipe them out, but the line is only 3.5. They're going to win by more than 3.5. The Texans' defense is terrible against the run, bottom half of the league. And guess what? And everybody know what the Tennessee Titans like to do with Derrick Henry. They're going to run that thing down your throat. So I don't think there's anything they can do to stop Derrick Henry. You can't stop Derrick Henry. That's when a quarterback like Brian Tannehill gets off on you. And I think those are my 2 locks. Lomachenko over Lopez and the Texans losing by more than 3.5 to the Tennessee Titans. But what you got?
What I got in response to that, or what I got myself?
Response to that, or what you got for yourself, whatever.
I agree. I think the Titans covered the 3.5. However, I will say it is a division game. And with division games, it can get tricky. Also, just on the Titans, they are 4-0. They did mollywop the Bills. However, if you look at the other 3 games, they won by 1 point, they won by 2 points, and they won by 3 points. And that was against Jacksonville. That was against, I think, Detroit Lions is one of those games, and somebody else that was sorry. So they barely won the previous 3 games before they blew out the Bills. So I will say that. Now, my 2 locks are going to be NFL. These are both, I think they win straight up, and I think they also cover the spread.
All right.
Number 1, Miami Dolphins over the New York Jets. The New York Jets are trash. They're the worst team in the league. They should be relegated to the Big Ten if they lose this week, which they will. Ryan Fitzpatrick is slinging the football over anybody who comes in his path. You just saw just what happened to the 49ers in San Francisco.
Yes.
They're gonna mollywop. They're gonna mollywop.
Okay.
So that's a big spread, but
next week.
All right, have a good one.
9.5 is a lot, brother.
That's 10 points.
All right.
That does. They can beat them 33-16. That they win by 17. I mean, come on. Then My other pick, other lock, again, straight up, and they're going to cover the 7.5 is the Ravens over the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Eagles are a trash can water. Carson Wentz has been a turnover machine this year. I think he has 7 picks already. That Ravens defense with Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphreys, the best cornerback tandem in the league. They forced a lot of turnovers, and when they force turnovers, they usually take it to the house. And then on the other side of the football, they're going to run the football down Philadelphia's throat, who can't stop the run. And it's going to be curtains for them boys.
Another 9.5, according to you.
Also, a betting nugget for that Ravens game, Lamar Jackson, his last 8 road games, which is a whole season. You play 8 games at home, 8 games on the road in the NFL. Last 8 road games against the spread, he's covered the spread 6 times. The other 2 times was a push. So he has not lost against the spread in 8 straight road games. So that's another little nugget to throw in there. Those are my locks. Ravens over Eagles, Jets over Dolphins. Dolphins over Jets, excuse me.
Dolphins over the Jets, Ravens over Eagles. What you got, Romy?
This is gonna hurt me to say, but my first lock, I'm gonna go Florida to cover 11.5 against LSU because for some reason our defense is social distancing. That's not what we want to do, and that's not like us to not have a defense. So I don't have no confidence at all in our defense. I think Florida is definitely going to put up that 11.5 points. I mean, we may put up some points, but we can't stop Florida. Florida has been, defense has been stepping up and putting out good performances. We haven't done that all year.
So let me sidetrack you real quick before you get to that next one. What is it just the defense for LSU? What's going on? I know. Didn't they hire Bo Pelini this year?
Yeah. I don't know. I maybe he ain't got the right personnel in the right place. Man, it's painful. I haven't watched the whole game yet. I can't, bro. I'm telling you. I'm on pressure pills. I'll be having to take an extra one. It's not good. It's not good, man. It's not good. So,
all right.
I don't know, man.
What you got next, man?
My next one, I think Dallas is going to cover that 2.5 points. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win the game. Arizona's favored by 2.5, and it's at Dallas. I think Dallas is going to play inspired ball. And our backup isn't that bad. Andy Dalton. He's not that bad. I think we're gonna pull it. Well, not we. I think the Cowboys are gonna pull it off. I'm saying we as the bet, not we as a team. I think the Cowboys can pull that one off. Plus, I think that record didn't say MVP candidate, but his numbers did though.
Dak was balling out.
Yeah, he they don't have the record to show it, but he had the numbers to show it though.
Oh, you don't think Dak was doing his part, Buck?
I think he was doing his part, but when you look at it just without analyzing it, when you look on paper and you can look down like, damn, Dak had 450 yards, he had 3 touchdowns, because the damn defense, they keep playing from behind, so he got to throw. Dak never comes out the gate and establishes a lead. They never, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're going to put up them numbers. You got to keep coming from behind 40 points a week. So, yes, he is. On one hand, he was doing this thing. But on the second time, it's not like when the game starts, he goes out and does that to the other team without the other team doing that first. You know what I mean? So, Shannon Sharp has this thing where he calls empty calories. When he talks about the Cowboys, you get down, and then you mount a comeback, look like you're doing something, then you lose. So, I can't trust. I like the Florida pick over LSU. But that Cowboys Cardinals, with a defense like the Cowboys who let any and every, they barely beat the Giants. The Giants have no wins.
Those points of the year against them.
And you talking to Arizona team with DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray, they can put a hurting on you. I'm not saying Arizona's going to beat them, but I don't feel confident. If I was betting money, I'd be a little iffy on that.
It's only 1.5 though, so that's basically a pick.
The reason why that line is only 1.5.
Yeah. They want you to bet it.
Look, right? They want you to bet, but look, when you betting, especially being out here in Vegas, and I've been doing this for years. I'm not saying like I'm a rich man and nothing like that, or I know everything.
I witness what you do.
But when William Hill makes a line for a big, when you see a minus 11.5, or you see the Ravens last week against Cincinnati minus 13, they're making those spreads for a reason. And you think, damn, they minus 13. They know what they're talking about. And you see what happened. Like, these teams be covering it. And so then when you got them small spreads, it's a reason why, man. It is a reason why.
Do you think Dallas can beat Arizona?
Anybody, first of all, anybody can beat anybody. We just saw my Raiders mollywop the Chiefs in Kansas City. Now, with that being said, like I said, any given Sunday, anybody can beat anybody. But I like to follow trends. What are the Cowboys? What did they do? What has been their trend all year? Get behind big, and then have to make it from that. They have to play from behind. So I don't like to bet money on teams that have to play from behind. I don't like that. That's not. I'm not saying they can't cover 1.5. I think Andy Dalton is good enough to get it done. However, it is the 3-2 Arizona Cardinals. I could see if they were playing the Jets, if they were playing Jacksonville. Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, they gonna have no answer for them boys.
Quick question for you, Buck. Hey,
yeah,
my bad. Go ahead, Sil.
No, go ahead, Ron.
Oh no, I was gonna ask you. You said what's been their model is playing from behind. I watched their defense. The defense, I don't know. It's not. They don't look that bad, but they just keep giving up freaking penalties. I watched one game. It was penalties that just kept a drive going. Penalty after penalty after penalty. Alden Smith hasn't played ball in 4 or 5 years. He probably the best player they got on defense right now.
He's playing good.
That should speak volumes to you. That should speak volumes to you when it comes to the Cowboys, man. I have nothing against the Cowboys. I'm a Raiders fan, so I could care less what the Cowboys do. But from a betting standpoint, there are certain teams that always give me issues. I cannot put my money on the Cowboys. I can never bet on the Lions, never bet on the Falcons, and the Saints. Those are the 4 teams that when you bet against them, they win. When you bet for them, they lose. Never fails.
Well, I'm looking at Arizona record right now. They played a pretty soft schedule. We saw that 49ers win that we thought was a good win in week 1, and that turned out to be kind of 49ers suck, man. They beat Washington and the Jets. So
that was you told me to give you 2 picks. My third one was the Rams over the 49ers this week.
Yeah. Okay, I logged that too. What's that spread on that?
I think it's up to 3.5 now. Started at 2.5.
Oh, 3? Oh, okay.
Aaron Donald is a strong man. That's all I got to say. That's a strong man.
That is a very strong man. That man had 4 sacks last week.
Individual.
Bro, he may be the best defensive tackle I ever seen.
Ever seen?
Yeah, what's that?
You said ever?
Yeah, that I've ever seen. Yeah, and he made.
Okay.
I mean, you talking Reggie White stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? When you talking Aaron Donald, the dude just special from him. You can just watch him work out and like, is that a defensive lineman for real? He got a 6-pack. He on the line. Like, you never see him guarded by one person. It never happens. It never happens. 100% of the time, the dude in front of him, a 300 and some pound, 6'4", 5" dude gets ragdolled. So you never see him being guarded one-on-one. Probably the best defensive tackle or lineman I've ever seen in my life. But that's pretty much it, man. Just wanted to get everybody locks. We'll revisit this probably Monday or Tuesday if y'all available, man, and we'll recap. See, hey, what if we all right? Bet this for me, Buck. I'll cash out.
You can go right on sportsbetting.ag and do it right from your phone. Straight to your.
It's called Sports Betting AG.
Yeah, sports betting, all one word, .ag.
Even
free to sign up.
It works in Alabama and Washington, you think?
If it doesn't, get you a VPN and just pick, you know what I'm saying? Pick a region where you ain't at. Just get you a VPN. There you go.
On my cash app, you sucker, you better put the bet in or I'm coming to break your legs. Nah, I appreciate it, fellas. I'm out.
All right, boy.
Take it easy. Have a good weekend.